So the first house I bought before I got married was kind of out in the country, but still had some close neighbors. There was a guy that lived on one side of me whose name was Weldon. He was a nice old man that would come over and just chit chat with me all the time. We just, you know, shoot the breeze, whatever. So one day I noticed that there were some new people over at Weldon's house that I hadn't seen before. And they seemed to be living there because they were just like there for days and days. And it was like this married couple and their kids. And I didn't think too much about it because Weldon had mentioned he had some kids. And I thought, oh, maybe they've, moved in to help him out, or maybe they've fallen on rough times and they've moved in. I don't know. So they were nice folks, though. They came over and talked to me also, and they brought some chickens and goats, and their goats would always get into my yard, and I didn't care. It was just a field, and they felt really bad about it, though, and they would always bring me over fresh eggs from their chickens because their goats got and ate my grass, and I was like, you really don't have to bring me any eggs. I don't care about this grass at all. But whatever, free eggs, so... After a while of those people living in that house, I noticed that I hadn't seen Weldon in a long time. And that was pretty unusual because he would stop by a couple times a week just to like chit chat or whatever. And so I started to get kind of concerned, and I said, next time I talk to those people, I'll ask them, what happened to Weldon. So I did ask them, and they kind of acted like they had never heard of Weldon and didn't know who he was. So the mystery got a little deeper. So one day there was a knock at the door, and when someone rings the doorbell or knocks on the door, normally I don't answer because I don't need to talk to you. Go away. But there was a tow truck in my yard, so I said, oh, I better go see what's going on. So I answered the door and I said, hey, what's up? How can I help you? The tow truck driver looked at me and he said, hey, sorry to bother you, but do you know your neighbors over here? I said, yeah, I know them. They're pretty nice folks. He said, do you know someone named Weldon? Does Weldon live over here? I said, well, as a matter of fact, there was someone named Weldon that lived there, but I haven't seen him in a long time. That tow truck driver looked at me perplexed, and he said, well, I was here to repossess his car because he hasn't made any payments in months. But I talked to those people over here, and they said no one by that name ever lived there, and that car is nowhere to be seen, and I've been checking it out for weeks. Anyway, that was about 11 years ago. I lived in that house for a few more years and never saw Weldon again. I never know what happened to him. He may have died. He may have moved away. Those people may have killed him and buried him in the basement. I really don't know.